We normally experience transitions in our life as invitations for growth and change. Some become more attached to the world. Others make a lot of effort to appear younger than their age. Others try to consolidate their power, or others become vulnerable to depression and sadness. Father Sebastiano D Ambra, PIME, at age 61, feels a profound peace, accepting his growing physical limitations and waning strength with a realistic attitude. He knows this is a great time to prepare himself for the great encounter with the Lord, the eternal dialogue. Father Sebastiano says, "I feel within me a great desire and passion to tell everyone that life is a great adventure between God, the great lover, and us, whom He wishes to claim as His beloved. In my own experience of encounters with people of different cultures and religions, I know this love is personal, yet without boundaries. I have learned to accept that people are different, to discover the beauty of each one, and to be astonished by the many ways God communicates this love to each one." We have to look for companions in the journey who are also moved by the same spirit and with sincere hearts are seeking and working for the common good. We see different cultures, religions, and a great variety of expressions inside each culture and religion.
I took one house that
In the end, I see that these varieties of expressions are beyond categories and analysis. What to do? There is no end to the way we are surprised by God's creativity. At the same time, we try to find a common point of reference to make us conclude that although there are many ways, there is only one style in God's dialogue. We have to recreate this hope in the world today. Gandhi says, "I do not try to give up my religion to others, but only that they should see God's presence in me." And Father Sebastiano adds, "and that I should see God's presence in them." This is the path to peace. Father Sebastiano de Ambra longed for a place where people of different cultures and religions could come together, share with each other their aspirations, fears, and desires to explore the spirituality of dialogue as a way of building a culture of peace. McCormick Dingy is a professor of social anthropology and political science at the Western Mindanao University. Professor Dingy is the editor-in-chief of Silsilah publications.
There is a little story that I like always to remind to our students when they come here about the story when Prophet Muhammad was with a companion coming from one of their activity. It was fighting against a certain group. And the people, the companion said to Prophet Muhammad, what will be next? No? And he said, we are moving from the jihad to a great jihad. And the companion didn't understand. That is one hadith. And he explained, it's the purification. The great jihad is the purification of the heart. It's a struggle inside ourselves. Unfortunately, people give so much emphasis to the jihad in terms of holy war. There is a lot of misunderstanding on that point. But for dialogue, I believe this concept of the great jihad, because from the great jihad, from the purification of the heart, there is an attitude of reconciliation, an attitude of looking at other people with the new eyes, with new heart.
And it seems, I think, if I may say so, forgiveness is a cornerstone in the teachings of Christianity. And I think this is very attractive, so to speak, for Christianity, considering other faiths, for example, even from the point of view of other faiths, Islam, for example, in particular, because sometimes we say there are even, although I cannot know the Arabic, no, there are even passages in the Holy Quran that I was told that will allow something like a revenge, no, which is, I would say, very negative in the dialogue approach.
So that is in the back of my mind was that concept of purification. That it's very true in Islam, but also in Christianity. We have to pass through a journey of purification. Now, one really meaningful part of the life of the Muslim that I admire very much is that this purification bring to an attitude of prayer.
Okay, prayer for the Muslims is one opportune time where we believe that during our prayer, especially the Tahiyat Tahil, we have the presence of God with us. And of course, the feeling of the sense of accomplishment during prayer, because we said we have fulfilled one of the 5 pillars of Islam, which is prayer 5 times a day. And then of course, prayer in Islam is divided into 2 categories. One is the wajib prayer, which we are mandated to pray, which is the 5 times a day. And the other are the sunnahs. And in our teachings in Islam, when you perform the sunnah, you also get credits for it. This is actually perhaps not perhaps, but this is the meaning of prayer. And I always say that also a prayer is one moment in time where one can get to be clean, no? Because the process of purification. No?
In some way, the prayer attitude is very important in Islam. This is a very, very important message for the Christians. Sometimes the Christian can forget, no? And even when there is the call to prayer, no, in that Arabic words, there is that message, come to prayer. It's better to pray than to sleep, and said all the things. If people can understand in the language, they can see a lot of message. And of course, I'm also touched when I see you pray, no, because sometimes we have meeting and you have, sorry, I have to stop for a while because I have to pray. So we always give attention to that attitude of prayer.
Zamboanga is indeed a melting pot of cultures and religions. Old people of Zamboanga tell nostalgic stories of the beauty and peace of the city during the 50s and 60s. But in the 70s, the situation changed. Martial law was declared by President Ferdinand Marcos. The Moro National Liberation Front was organized. Jolo was burned in 1974.